area. You already know how to get a perimeter. How do you get a perimeter? Out of all the sides. Good, Leslie. Okay, so now we're going to do area. Well, I'm going to tell you to get the area of that. What shape is that? Rectangle. So what you do is you just take a formula sheet and you look up the formula to find the area of a rectangle. But you did it in the 4th grade. Do you remember what that formula was? You did it in the 4th grade, and the 5th grade, and the 6th grade, and the 7th grade. Area equal length of width. Yes. And I use a lowercase cursive L because if you don't, it looks like a 1. Okay, so there's your formula. Now, you're going to put what's called the substitution step. See that equal sign? Directly underneath it, I want you to put another equal sign. And we're gonna let the formula guide you. We're gonna let that formula guide you. Let the formula guide you. Let the formula guide you. Okay, so we look at the formula and say, well, I see an L. That stands for length. So what is the length? Is it the 12 or is it the 20 4/5? How did you know that? Because the length is going to be the longest one. The length is going to be the longest one. They both start with an L. So it's the 20 4/5. So underneath this, because we're letting the formula guide us. So underneath the L, we write 20 4/5. And you bring down your dot, which means times, and this stands for W width. So how wide is it? 12. And then you take your calculator out and you times it, and you get, the answer's on here somewhere, 249 3/5. Now, I want you to notice the equal signs. They're all in column. That's very important. Getting the answer is not that important right now. I want you to have a good math method. So I want you to write the formula, substitution step, write the answer with a label. The label was cm, what's that sample? Centimeters. So you put cm, but it was area, so it's square area. Now you can either put cm squared for square centimeters, or you can put SQCM for square centimeters. None of the metric system measurements have a dot after it. Did you know that? Like in our system, inches has IN period, feet FT period, centimeters, no period. Now, why is it squared? Let me show you. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to draw a rectangle. Let's say this is 3 by 2. So I'm going to divide this into 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to divide this into 2. 1, 2. What are those little things? Squares. Box of squares. They're squares. So it's 2 times 3. 6 squares. 6 square centimeters. 6 square inches. That's why it's squared. Square centimeters. Now, how are you going to remember when to put the square and when not to? On perimeter, you don't put the square. A perimeter is just a plain label. A perimeter is just a plain label. It would just be centimeters. But if it's area, you square area. Area, square area, cover up your area. Area, square area, cover up your area. What's that mean? I have no clue, but it has a ring to it, and it helps you to remember if it's area, you square area. Area, square area, cover up your area. I guess your area, your bare butt. Okay, so then, if you come out with a number like, let's say you come out with a number like 10 over 9. When the top number of a fraction is bigger than the bottom number, what's it called? Starts with an I. IM. What kind of fraction is that? IMP? IMPR? What? What? Yes! It's improper. I call it a Dolly Parton fraction because Dolly Parton's top is bigger than her bottom. So, what do you do to Dolly Parton fractions? You bottom into top and then you got it. You bottom into top and then you got it. That means you divide the bottom number into the top number. How many times will 9 go into 10? 1. 1 times 9 is? Subtract. Stop! You're done! Put flat sheet on. Flat sheet on. Whatever's at the bottom, it rises to the top. Whatever's at the side, just slip it in the small tab. So that would turn into 1 and 1/9. Okay, now, the math method. I'm going to erase all this other crap so you see what I'm... That is your math method. I want you to write the formula, F for formula, the substitution step, that's the answer. Yes, that's what I want you to do. I call it an essay. You have to have your essay on your paper. What's an essay? It's your formula, substitution step, answer. Yes! I had this one kid that said, formula, substitution step, answer. Yes! Success! Like if you put your essay, you have success. Formula! What's that? Substitution step, answer. Yes! Success! You have to have your essay or it's wrong. And then, now I like to tell you why I say and then. I had this professor in college, and she was from China. And she had an accent, and so she would from time to time say, and then. Well, I couldn't understand her. I didn't know what she meant by and then. So I asked this person beside me, I said, what is she saying when she says and then? She said, she's saying and then. And so I got in the habit, I like to say it now, and then. So if I say that, you know, I mean, and then, the next one says, find the perimeter of the triangle. So we're going to draw a triangle, and this is 5, and this is 12 and 2/3, and this is 7 and 5/6, and this is 8, and they're all inches. It's not very neat, is it? I should do stick belly hat. Okay, watch stick belly hat for 5. Stick belly hat. Because a lot of people make 5s like this. That looks like an S. Okay, and you're going to get the perimeter. How do you get the perimeter? Out of all the sides. But now, that was on set 1. Now you're going to get the area. How do you get the area? Look it up. What's the formula to find the area of a triangle? You look it up, and it says that. So you write it down, and then you let the formula guide you. I put my equal sign right down, and I see, the first thing I see is 1/2. Bring it down. Put a dot for timesing, and then I see a B, which stands for base. That's what the triangle is sitting on. It's sitting on its base, which is how long? 12 and 2/3. So I put that in for the B. Let the formula guide you. I spy an H, which stands for height. How tall is that triangle? If I were measuring how tall it would be, 5. From the bottom to the top is 5. Then you just take your calculator up and you times all those and you get, notice, equal, order of column, 31 and 2/3. And I said it was inches, so I put I in. It's area. Area, squarea, cover up your barrier. Formula, substitution step, answer, yes, success, next. Parallelogram. I think you can do that with just let the formula guide you. The only hard one next is the trapezoid. I'm going to draw a trapezoid. And it's the longest formula on there. A trapezoid, you know what? A lot of people think that this has to be the same as this, and it doesn't. I can make this really long, and this one not as long. It's still a trapezoid as long as you have one pair of parallel sides. Right there, that's called the, starts with an H, height. So, then this is yards, YD for yards. 1 and 7/8 is the height, 2 and 1/3 yards for that one, 2 for that one, and a 5 for that one. And it says get the area. Well, you just look up the formula, and this is really big formula. I think it has an H here next. Yes. Base sub 1 plus base sub 2. A submarine goes under the water. So that's a subscript. If you have that, that's a superscript. Subscript, superscript. So it's base of 1 plus base of 2. A trapezoid has 2 bases. One at the bottom, one at the top. 2 bases. So when I let the formula guide you, I just go equal sign, put it down. 1/2, put it down. Height, what is it? 1 7/8. I spy a parenthesis. Don't leave it out. Base 1 will be at the bottom or top, it doesn't really matter. That is a plus sign, not a time sign. Base 2 is going to be at the top, which is the 5. Always do everything in parentheses first. So the first thing you would do is plus these 2 together, hit equal, then times it by that, then times it by that, and then you get your answer, which is, I don't know, 12 and 31 over 32 yards. It's area, square area, cover up your barrier. Formula. What's that step? Substitution step. Answer. Yes. Success. That is the conclusion of set 2. All right, you can cut.